Foot lettuce.
Hello.
So normally I usually talk about like big future updates I would love to see, and a lot of you guys seem to enjoy that as well. But this time around, I thought why not talk about like smaller details or like smaller features, quality of life things that I would love to see in the future. I don't know if I've done this before. I know most of us do run into these like minor inconveniences, and I'm sure we would love to see these like get sort of like changed or fixed in a way. It's probably at least one thing on this list that you ran into, or maybe even all of it. Quality of life things I would like to have in Bloxburg eventually. I went from one table to the other. Did you notice that? Yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about, okay, I thought this is an interesting thing, is door permissions. So obviously when you have, oh, I should have like a test dummy with me to do this. Okay, I got grandma as my test dummy right here. But obviously when you give someone a guest, they have very limited like, you know, permissions on your plot. So obviously with doors, certain doors, they can open them. You know, obviously they can sit down, watch TV, I guess, you know, mess with a few things in your house and grab certain foods. And then obviously when you lock the door for guests, they can't even, you know, they can't open the doors. They're just stuck here forever. I would like it to where like there are, in the future, we get like specific door permissions for certain people. Obviously, I think most of us will like it where certain people have certain access to specific doors than others. Like let's say, you know, your roleplay kid has one room and you don't want your other roleplay kid to like get in there. Like house keys, I think house keys would be interesting. I don't know if it would work like a house keys or just a setting. Let's just say you give someone like keys to a certain room and only that person can access it. You and that person can only access it, but other people can't. Like it's just special access, like special door permissions. I don't know. I think it would just be useful for like hotels, especially for roleplay hotels, because if you give someone permissions, obviously that one person can access like all of the hotel rooms. I think that would be super useful to just give certain people special door permissions or something like that. It's a very little thing, obviously, and you know, it's not that big of a deal, but I think that would be cool in the future. But that's just a very general thing, very small thing. Okay, I don't think I need you, grandma, anymore. It's killing my phone. Every time I play Roblox, it murders my phone. All right, so number 2 is like fridge food permissions as well. So once again, another type of permission setting. But obviously, if you have someone guested here, they can't really go through your fridge, like they can't view content. But if you do give someone like co-owner or like roommate, they can obviously go into your fridge, view content, see what you have. And sometimes it's, you know, most of the time you can, I guess, trust some people who you roommate, but and other times there are people who will like steal your food and stuff. I just wish there was also like a certain setting where you can set it to where certain people, like even if they're roommate, you can set it to where they can't see the food, like they can't go through your fridge. But also another feature is maybe you could like have a hide button on certain foods. So let's say you don't want your limited food to be seen by people, there could be like an extra button that says like hide it. Maybe there could be like another page to see the hidden foods only, but yeah, that would be pretty useful to have. Just either a setting that, you know, lets you hide food from people, or like a button within the fridge itself to like hide food and they can't see it, obviously. I'm really bad at explaining things, I think. I don't know. We'll see how I edit this to make it look like I explained it a lot better than I did. Yeah, food permissions, I'm sure most of us like run into that a lot, where we're kind of iffy with giving people roommate because we're scared they would steal our food or something, our special limited food. So yeah, once again, a small little note, stock up on any foods you can, because I don't know how much longer they're going to be in the game, like all your Valentine's stuff. I don't want to say that too much, but just a little daily reminder. All right, number 3, I've talked about this frequently. I'm not gonna talk about it too long, but neighborhood permissions. Okay, there's a lot of permission features, okay, so far. So I hope in the future we get something where there's an option within the settings where like you can automatically set permissions for your neighborhood, because like if you ever have like a party or a grand opening or something, there is another setting to like automatically set the permissions of whoever joins your server, because I get sick throwing a party. Okay, I know throw party is like the main solution to this, but the throw party has a cooldown and people are constantly leaving and, you know, joining the server. So there's people who aren't given like guest permissions. But yeah, I hope there's a setting in the future where we can like automatically set like a permission to whoever joins the game. Like once you join my server, even though you've never been in it before, you're automatically guested. That's something I would love, and a lot of people who do events and other things as well probably enjoy as well. Sometimes I'll have to like, you'll see me whenever I do grand openings to go in here and like I manually set people, because I don't want anyone to not have access to like the front door or something or whatever, or like be able to sit down and eat something. Hopefully that comes in the future, and hopefully it's not too complicated to like code or something. I hope it isn't, because they have something like that already with the family thing. So like, see, look, they already have that with family permissions. So as soon as you invite somebody into your family, I already have it set to roommate. That's just kind of like the default. Some people already have theirs like to guest or something, but yeah, they technically already have this type of feature in the game. I just hope it's a neighborhood thing that they can do as well. I think I talked about that one a little bit more than I should, but it's very much needed. Okay, it's very much needed. So the next thing here is in build mode. When you're building with people, I hope in the future they add like separate undo buttons, because whenever I'm building with like a friend or something and I make a mistake, I quickly undo it, and it kind of just like messes up the other person's like thing that they did. And I hope they have like separate undo buttons in the future, because then we don't share the same one. Like, obviously when you're building with people, you share the undo and redo buttons. So let's say someone else placed down like this couch, you can undo their couch. You can basically undo their couch because you guys share the same undo redo buttons. So hopefully in the future we get like separate buttons for that. I keep repeating myself, oh my gosh. I feel like I'm repeating myself too much, but you guys get what I mean. Hopefully that's pretty simple though. Maybe, and if people don't like that type of thing where they'd rather share the buttons, maybe that can just be a setting in the options as well. Just if some people don't like it, just make it an option so both sides are happy with it. But yeah, that is just something I really would like, because it can get really, not say annoying, but I'm too scared to like undo my mistakes now because someone else did something else, and I don't want to undo their things. I'm pretty sure a lot of us went through that. A lot of us builders, if you're like building with your family or friends, I feel like that's just, I think, a very much needed thing for sure. But yeah, that was my next thing. Yeah, I don't know, it's just very inconvenient. It's just super inconvenient. Okay, this next one I've talked about a little bit too much. A lot of us have probably talked about it too much. I'm just gonna be really quick with it. I always mention this. I don't know, I apologize for mentioning this too much, but yes, putting things in your inventory, that's all. Like being able to put a car in your inventory, okay? Like I would love that. Whether or not it's like a season or Bloxburg item, I wish you could put stuff in your inventory to like transfer it over to like another plot. Yeah, that's very much needed as well. Especially with this new development team, I hope we get that. I actually hope we get that. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about, and this is another thing I've also talked about a little bit too much. I'm like very passionate about hoping this gets added to the game. Flipping my gable roofs. Yes, I would love that. Flipping my roofs. Just being able to flip a roof, change the direction of roof. Right now, the roof that you can only change the direction of is this slanted one. I know about this too much. You press R in the keyboard. I don't know what you do with it on mobile, but yeah, you can obviously change the direction of a slanted roof pretty easily, no matter what it looks like. Like it could just look like this, and you could change it, which is awesome. I love that. But they need to do that with the gables as well. I mean, more wider is horizontal, and then taller, like longer, is just vertical. So yeah, I think that's the correct way. It's facing vertically, because it's, yeah, vertically. I know my directions. But I just hope that in the future we can just adjust this whenever. Yeah, I'm very passionate about that one because I make a lot of traditional houses, and it would just be useful to not have to deal with build hacks just to figure that out, or even use the transform tool, because I like simple things. I just like the in-game features of, you know, how things work. I don't want to go too much of an extra mile to get that, because look at this right now, okay? Look at this. This roof is crazy. It's crazy. It can get difficult to roof traditional houses depending how your house looks and it's shaped. And hopefully they do fix like some clipping issues, because that can get a little crazy. So yeah, those are all of my little quality of life updates I would love to see in the future. That's pretty much this for this video. But another thing I want to talk about, and I'm sure maybe some of you probably wanted me to talk about this because it is like public info. Everyone's already been talking about online and such. But yeah, there are new developers finally on the Bloxburg development group. I don't know, the official Bloxburg developers group page or something. And I didn't want to make a whole separate video about this because it probably would have been super short, and I don't know how to say their names. So on the Bloxburg development team, the group page, if you go to developers, I mean, everyone can see this, but there are some new developers now added. So yeah, if you go to their if you stalk their profiles, okay, because you could do that. I didn't want to talk about it too much, but I mean, we already knew about this because they already announced Coffee Stain partnership. Yeah, new people to the developer team. Exciting stuff. Can't wait to see what they cook up, but they look very very new, obviously. But that pretty much wraps up today's episode. If you guys did enjoy, you found it interesting, make sure to give it a big old thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscribe button too, because it is completely free. Let me know what other little things that you noticed, you know, while playing the game that they should, you know, maybe change or fix or whatever. Just like these small little details, like quality of life stuff you would love to see fix. You know, maybe I forgot something. I've definitely forgot something. But thank you all for taking the time to watch this, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Have a great weekend or great day whenever you're watching this. Goodbye. Yeah, I think those were the only things that really, I mean, those are the only things I could think of from the top of my head. I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there's plenty more.